watching. So today I will be creating a layout using the ice crystals, I believe it's called, paper stack from Michaels, as you can see here. And I'll be using the Kiwi Lane Templates, and I'll be scrapbooking these adorable pictures of my two dogs playing in the snow for the first time this season. And for this little one, it'll be the first time she ever sees snows in her life. She's about 8 months in that picture. So I'll be using Abbie Road borders, and I'll be using 1A, 2A, and 1B. Those will be the borders I use. I will also be featuring the pets, and I'll be using that adorable little bone. And I will be using as well the Flurry limited edition templates. I'll be using all three of them. So this paper stack was gifted to me by my friend T, and it's a Christmas one. So I'll be using that paper. I will also be using my scissors, pencil, an eraser, and the only thing I don't show is the distress ink that I'll be using as well. These are Tim Holtz shears. They're about 6 inches. They're the best thing ever. And little cutter bee, I believe it's called, by EK Success. Great little scissor. That one I've had for many years, and it's literally falling apart. So right now I'm looking through my papers, and I will be choosing, I believe, 6 different ones. And on this one, I'm showing you the title. And unfortunately, it's backwards for whatever reason, but it says Walking in a Winter Wonderland. And I'll be using all of these papers. I actually don't use that one. Some of them have glitter, and one that you don't see there is a stripe one, which I decided I picked a little bit later on. So this will be my background paper. You always want to pick something that's a little muted, not busy, because your background should be your background. It should not be a loud, busy paper, because you want it to stay in the back so that whatever is on top of it is what is your eye is drawn to. I'm using my paper cutter to slice off the edge, which if you don't have a paper cutter, you really don't need one. You could do that with scissors. So now I'm just going through my papers, and I am bringing out my templates that I'm using, and I'm trying to figure out which way I want them to lay. And the good thing about these templates is that there is no rhyme or reason to them. You can flip them, you can use them upside down, you can use them backwards. I've done that many times where I've actually flipped them around because I like the shape of it in one direction rather than the other. And so here I'm doing my first layer, which would be the top layer of my border. And as you can see right through it. So it's great when you want to feature a part of a paper, and you can pinpoint where you want to cut, and you trace around the edge that of what you want. And obviously, as you could see, I did it a little wider than what the template was, and I'm going to speed it up, as you really don't need me to show you how to cut. So here I'm just cutting, and I'm left-handed, which you couldn't tell on this video because it's actually upside down or backwards. So for me, it's a little struggle. Everything's a struggle. So you don't have to erase your pencil marks. If you make them light enough, you won't even see them. I prefer to erase them. I don't like to see them on there. And you will see me using distress ink, which also helps hide all those pencil marks. So I'm going to use this snowflake paper kind of in the middle of my my 3 layers of my borders to give it a little contrast, so that the first layer, which was the title one, will stand out from everything else. There's so many things you can do with these borders. If you really wanted to, you can pop them up to give it dimension, or you can do them like I'm doing. I'm just laying them flat. As you can see, I'm just cleaning it up with a smaller scissor, and basically the possibilities are endless. And as you can see, I'm struggling a little bit here, and here I'm going to notice that part of the paper, and I really like that part of the paper. The issue is that it's not going to be seen there. So you'll see how great it is to be able just to flip it on its side. And I am now going to cut out exactly the part that I want to see on my paper. The long shears are great for cutting borders because it really helps cut a straight line when you have larger shears, because as you could see earlier, I basically only needed to do 2 cuts to get across that whole 12-inch piece. And again, I'm going to erase my pencil marks, and there are my borders. So now I am going to look through my papers and basically look for what I'm going to be using next. Oh, nope, I'm pulling out my distress ink. This is a Tim Holtz distress ink in tea dye, and I am using one of his distress tools. And what I like about this is that it's a lot bigger than the little finger distressing tools, so you get a lot more done a lot quicker. The little Velcro pads are interchangeable, so they are Velcroed on, and I believe a pack of them may bring about 20 or 24 of them. They're a pretty big pack, so you don't have to use the same one on different colors. And here I am starting to make my layers, and I am using a Tombow Mono permanent adhesive I use a lot. Adhesive tape runner. I usually use my Scotch Advanced tape glider, which is the ATG tape, which is that big clunky pink gun, but when I make videos I like to use a smaller one because it's not as in the way. Here I'm cutting my pictures. I printed these pictures on 4x6 paper, and I did 2 on each piece of paper because the quality wasn't great. And if you're around snow, you know that the sometimes there's so much glare that it really distorts your pictures. And plus they were running around, so that didn't help. So here I'm cutting these 2 pictures down, which are zoomed in a bit. So like I said, the quality wasn't great, so I didn't want to make them too big. So I'm going to do a simple grid with all 4 pictures. And right now I am placing them on my mat, my glass mat, to decide how big I want to cut my the mat that I'll be using to mat my pictures. And I'm just going to do one single background mat. I'm going to use my paper cutter because it's a lot easier, and we do not have any templates that would accommodate all 4 of those pictures. So I believe I cut that to 6 and a quarter or 6.5 by 8.5. But I'm not 100% certain. So now I'm tucking my pictures behind, and I'm going to start tracing my snowflakes, as you can see on this glitter paper. And when you're doing glitter paper, it's a little more complicated because the pencil marks don't show on the glitter. And this isn't loose glitter. It has like a backing to it, like I don't know, a clear coat over it. So it's a little bit on the glossy side. The glitter's kind of behind I would say like a glossy accent type of material. So I'm cutting out my snowflake, and while I'm doing this, I just want to tell you how versatile these templates are. You can use them for card making, you can use them on layouts. If you do Project Life or Project Lifestyle, which are like the pocket pages, these work great as well because all you really need is paper. You don't need to go out and buy stickers. You don't need to, have a fancy Cricut or Silhouette machine. You could do a lot with the templates, and they're very affordable. They have a lot of sales, so you can definitely stock up with all the sales that they have and have all the different borders and tiny templates, and it's just, I love it. I've been a Kiwi Lane instructor for about a year. It will be a year in February. Unfortunately, because of life being in the way, and I do work full time, I haven't had the opportunity to push my business and to create as many layouts as I'd like to. I have so many goals and just not enough time. Definitely the templates do help because there's not that much to it. I mean, you don't have to do too much to get a beautiful layout. And as you can see, I'm really not doing, other than tracing and cutting stuff out, I'm not doing any mixed media on this. I'm not, I'm not cutting anything fancy with a machine. It's just paper. It's a full 100% paper layout. And whether you're a novice or you are an experienced scrapbooker, you will eventually or you probably already do have a supply of paper that you probably can paper the entire world and still have paper left over. And that is one of the reasons that I was very enticed by Kiwi Lane. The fact that I didn't have to buy any more layered stickers, or I didn't have to buy any more embellishments. Although I still buy them, but not as frequently, because now I can use these, these beautiful snowflakes. Why would I need to get other snowflakes stickers if I have, a template that I can just cut out whatever color, whatever size? Do I want the larger one? Do I want the smaller one? Do I want it on glitter paper? The possibilities are endless. So as you can see, I'm figuring out my layout and how I want things to lay. And this is where I pull out that glitter stripe paper. And again, it was a little hard to see the pencil marks on the glitter. On some areas I had to really push down hard. So, keep that in mind when you're using glitter paper. So let me know if you're interested in Kiwi Lane. Let me know what you want to see. if there's any specific videos or techniques or um, other projects that that you might be curious about, let me know in the comments, and I will more than happily make a video and show you how easy it is to work with Kiwi Lane. Plus, I have to say, their papers are amazing. They are very heavy paper. I would say probably somewhere in the 100 pounds, maybe. Definitely, they're a lot thicker than this Michael's paper. I'm trying to see if I can, if it says it on here, but they're very heavy paper, very good quality. Everything usually, they sell them in little kits. They have layout kits, they have card kits, and everything coordinates. And they always show a couple of there's a couple layouts that they samples that you can see on the covers of how they're packaged. And there's also a Kiwi Lane monthly kit that comes with paper and it comes with templates, and those are exclusive just for people who order the monthly kits. That's also a great way to grow your stash of Kiwi Lane templates. So now I can easily have left these flat. Well, before I get to that, let's go to the, I thought I was going to do the little animal, but it kind of looked like a cat to me. So my dogs kind of have like that long snout. So, so I decided to go with the bone instead. And I'm going to cut it out of the glitter paper because I feel like it'll stand out. And I will be using I believe it's called Fun Foam or Wacky Foam that you buy at Walmart, or you can get it at the Michael's. They usually come in big packs of like 50 or 100. And for the most part, they have one side has adhesive and the other side doesn't. The one I picked up did not have adhesive. They didn't have it at the Michael's or the AC Moore that I purchased it at. And they were super cheap. They were like under $4 for or $5 for a pack, and it's a lot cheaper than using glue dots, and it's also a lot more, I feel, supportive if you're doing big cuts. Like for example, my snowflake, I don't have to put 1,000 little glue dots on it. Excuse me. You'll see me pull out my foam in a minute, and I have them cut down into smaller pieces, as you can see there. So I'm using Art Glitter Glue that is by the Art Institute Glitter Ink, and you can find that at artglitterglue.com. That is absolutely my favorite wet glue. I have used it on mixed media projects. I've used it on just plain paper projects. Never had an issue. I love that it does not warp your paper, and it dries clear. What more can I ask for? So I'm going to be fast forwarding pretty soon, so that you don't have to, sorry about that. That was a little on the, hopefully you didn't hear that. Because you don't need me to see me back everything, but I will be backing all the snowflakes. And as you saw, I backed the bone as well. So Kiwi Lane, you can use your templates and be as elaborate or as simple as you'd like. You are the one creating, so it is entirely up to you how you want to do your layout or your card or your, whatever it is that you're doing. If you want them fancy, you can back things, and you can emboss on it. There's so many things. The possibilities are endless. And hopefully you'll give me the opportunity to show you other ways to use Kiwi Lane. You can make mini books with them, mini albums if you're into doing mini albums. It's just, there's so much that can be done. And I'm looking forward to hopefully making 2 videos a week for now, until I can get myself in a better swing of things. And not only that, but I also need to learn how to edit a little better. So I know that this video is a little grainy. Hopefully soon I'll be replacing my camera as well, just so that I have a better picture. And yeah, I'm looking forward to starting 2019 and growing my business, and hopefully making a lot of projects. All right, so here I have cut out all the unnecessary foaming, and I have glued everything down. I like to sometimes hang things off the edge. I feel like that gives it a little bit more of a finished look. And so I just snipped off the overhang, and now I'm using a not Winkostella, sorry. This is a Spectrum Noir sparkler pen, and it's a clear one. And you're going to be, if you haven't seen one of these, you're going to be amazed at how sparkly these pens are. And as you can see, I'm just doing one quick once over, all the words. And you can see already how sparkly it is, but wait till I bring up the paper to the camera. You see that sparkle? Amazing. So that ties in my title, and now I'm using a gold Uniball by Sanford gel impact pen in a 1.0. I love the way it writes. The only thing I was a little not happy about was that the gold was very yellowish, and I had never used this pen before, so I didn't realize that it was going to be that different from everything else. But that is my layout. Thank you for watching. Here are some still shots of my layout, and I hope you will come back and check out all the links in the description. You can find my Kiwi store down below, and have a great night.